We all know that the world is getting more expensive and things are not getting cheaper as the years are going by, especially after, the whole, I don't want to mention it, but we all went through a huge crisis 2, 3 years ago. And since we've come out of that, the world has been, going through it. Everyone's going through it financially. And I think for single mothers, people don't know how difficult finances can be for single mothers, because a single mother who's working, her salary is not just for herself, but it's for herself and the kids that she has to take care of. So in this video, I want to talk about how we can be financially free. Just look, I'm not going to make this difficult, okay? I'm just going to talk about the little baby steps that we can take in order to gain financial freedom, because as single moms, I honestly feel like being financially free is more important than getting in a relationship. That's just my belief, because if you have money and your needs are met, then you can open your eyes really well, take your time and date and be in a relationship and get married and enjoy. And you don't have to be one of those people who wake up and you're worrying about the price of bread or the cost of milk. So that's what this video is. This is more of a foundation level on how to gain financial freedom. And these are steps that I took as well. Now, me talking to you, I've been at that place where I didn't work. I've experienced being jobless as a single mom. I've experienced being broke as a single mom. And I've made so many financial mistakes, guys. I've been at a point in my life where I had zero balance, living off the edge. And that was the time my son decided to have a sore throat and I couldn't have money to buy medicine for my son. So I've experienced it all. And I'm here to help you to take the baby steps to gain financial freedom. So let's get into it. I'm looking at my notes so I'll be able to tell you everything that I've written. Okay, so when we talk about living in abundance, when we talk about financial freedom, what I really mean is that all your primary needs are met. So what do I mean by all your primary needs are met is that you're not worried about food, you're not worried about buying food, you're not worried about your bills being paid, you're not worried about buying petrol in your car, you're not worried about direct debits. All those needs have been met. And as single moms, we want to get to that place where all our needs are met. So when your needs are met, you're not constantly in stress out mode 24/7. You're not constantly worn out, tired 24/7, because I know what it feels like when you know that you're about to have a misdirect debit coming up, or your credit score is going to go down because you didn't pay this on time, or you have a backlog or a lot of debt to pay off. Let me tell you, it can be draining. It's like an invisible luggage at the back of your head and you're trying to get rid of it and you can't. So when we talk about living in abundance and financial freedom, we mean that all your primary needs, food, shelter, bills are paid, and you're never worried about it from month to month to month. Okay, so let's talk about the first step of living in abundance. The first step to living in abundance is to have a source of income. I know that sounds simple to some of you, and I know some of you be like, Dami, what you on about? Of course you have to have a source of income, but you'll be surprised the amount of single moms that are not actually working. And some of them are fully relying on government money. Some of them are fully relying on the father of their child to give them money, because some of you have kids for men who have a lot of money. Okay, it's not every woman that's got kids for broke dudes. There's some women who do have kids with men that are earning six figures. Some have kids for men who are celebrities, but they also refuse to give them money. Some do give them money. And so as a result of this, it's not all single moms that are working. Okay, remember, this channel is the rich mom mindset. So we're not just looking at broke single moms who've given birth to children for a man who has no money. We're looking at all single mothers now, the ones who've got kids for a broke man, a rich man, a high class man, a man in authority. Okay, just because a man is earning six figures, that doesn't mean that the mother of his child has been taken care of. Let's not forget that there's some men who are earning six figures and they don't spend £1, $1, €1 on their child. It's happening and it does exist. Okay, so the first step to living in abundance is to have a source of income for yourself. For yourself. So what do I mean? This source of income is an income where you don't have to you know that this is permanently coming into your account every single month. Okay, it's more like a salary. So for some people that could be a job. For some people, that could be a property that they have, because some single mothers do have properties. And it might be a case where you might not want to work, but you might want to rent out the property that you've got and use the rent on that property as your source of income. Okay, so this particular source of income is permanently yours. Okay, so for a lot of single moms, this would fall into a job where you're working and every month the money goes to your account. Nobody can ask you questions about that money. That money is only owed to you and you alone, and you can spend it however you want. When you have to wait for someone to give you money, like the father of your child or your parents and all that, you cannot rely on all these people. Okay, they're human beings. They can change their mind at any time, any day, any place. But when you have a job or you have a permanent source of income, a contract has been signed. So they can't just wake up and decide, I'm not going to pay Dami today. They can't decide that because a contract has been signed. Do you understand? But your parents don't sign contracts to give you money. Your boyfriend is not signing a contract to give you money. Your sugar daddy is not signing a contract to give you money. So that's not a permanent source of income. All right. So the first thing is to get a job. Now, I've been in a situation where I wasn't working for 3 years and I was fully dependent on government money because I couldn't find a job. I couldn't find a part-time job that was good in a way that I'll be able to drop my son and pick my son up from school. And I couldn't do a full-time job because there was no one to pick my son up or drop my son up to school. And so I was on government money and I would get about £200 every 2 weeks. And that amount was really, really small. It was really, really small. But I was living in my parents' house. That kind of helped a little bit. But at the same time, it was small. But the good thing is I didn't owe someone money. And I was still able to spend that the way I wanted to spend that. Okay? So first things first is to always have a permanent source of income for yourself. Okay, please do not get carried away with manifestation videos and be sitting in your living room not working, hoping that some kind of money or cash will drop off the ceiling. No, get a source of income that will be permanent. Okay, another thing I do want to quickly touch on is that when you do have a permanent source of income, you're never worried about your bills being paid, because your source of income, the permanent one, is going to pay those bills and it will put food on your table. All right. So that's why I just wanted to say the next one is to sign up for club cards, bonus points, loyalty cards, wherever you like to shop the most. If you like to shop at Tesco, if that's where you shop most of the time, if Boots is where you shop all the time, if JD Sports is where you shop all the time, sign up for those loyalty points. Sign up for the bonus points. Sign up for any scheme they've got going on for people who are constantly coming back to shop at that place. Now, you might say, oh, but the points is so small. It's just £1 for 1 point. It will accumulate. Anyone who's got a fixed account or a deposit account, you know that even if the interest is small, it will accumulate. I cannot tell you the amount of times those bonus points, loyalty points, Boots Advantage card have saved me in so many situations when I had zero balance in my account. So keep using those points. Don't stop using them. Don't have this mindset that the rich don't use them and I want to act like I'm rich and I want to fake it till I make it. Rich people use credit card. Rich people who got 6 figures, rich people who got millions in their account are still using credit card. Let me just tell you something. Rich people got mortgages. So tell me, if rich people got these things, why would you, who's on like a 5-figure salary each month, or someone who has no income, not use those cards? Use the bonus points, use the loyalty cards, use them. They will help you in times where you have no money. Now, the next one would be budgeting. This is one that I used to hate. I used to hate when people always say, oh, you have to budget, you have to budget. I thought that budgeting meant that I could not spend my money the way I want to spend my money. I thought budgeting would be restricting. I thought budgeting was just a way of punishing myself to not live luxurious like the way I want to. But what I realized was, when I wasn't budgeting, you know, when you have a contactless card, a bank card where you could just tap, 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 tap. When you're not budgeting, you can do a lot of the tapping, okay? To the point that you might not have enough money to sustain you till next week. Let's not even talk about going on holiday where you can get carried away with tapping, 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 that you forget that, oh, do I have enough money left? You see, what budgeting will do is that budgeting will allow you to know how much you got left at the end of the month at the back of your mind. Budgeting will allow you to adjust what you should buy. So I'll give you an example. When I see a new hair product and I really like the new hair product, or the hair product is working for me, I automatically want to get the bigger size. So like the 975 mil, all right? Even though they have the 200 grams, or is it 200 mil? How do they measure products? Grams. Even though they might have the 227 grams, which would be like 20 pounds, because the product work and I love it so much, I want the huge bottle of the product. And then when I start budgeting, I then realize, I need a bra this month, but if I want to have enough to get the bra that I like, I need to adjust the amount on this side. So instead of me going for the huge bottle, I might just go for the smaller bottle. So the money I have left over from that, I can use it to get the bra. This is what budgeting can do. When you budget, you know that, can I eat out this month or can I not eat out this month? How many times can I go out to eat this month? And you're able to know because you're budgeting. I used to be that girl who did not budget and I was living off the edge. I was living off the edge. And I'll say, oh, well, God will provide. And then I'll say, how that God will provide. And he did come through for me. God did come through for me. But for how long am I going to be doing that? And when you don't budget, you won't have enough money left over to save for your old age. This is the biggest problem when you don't budget. You will not have enough money to save for your old age. I used to tell myself, I'll tell you guys something funny. When I see women in their 70s, in their 60s, in their 50s, working as a cleaner, I used to say to myself, I will never, ever be in this position to work as a cleaner in my 50s and my 60s and my 70s. That cannot be me. Do you realize that the whole time I've been saying that, I did not have an ISA account. I did not have a savings account for my old age. And I'm there looking at old women who have kids working as a cleaner in a restaurant. And I'm there like, oh, I'll never be that. But I didn't have an ISA account. I didn't have a savings account. So if you don't have an ISA account, when I'm talking about an ISA account, I'm talking about an account where you can keep your pension money, where you can keep money for your old age so you can spend it when you get old. If you don't have that, you're definitely going to end up as a cleaner working in a fast food restaurant. Because how else are you going to survive? All the government want is just to take money from us. So the whole time I've been saying that, one day it just dawned on me that, wait a minute, what money do I have for my old age? Apart from the fact that, yeah, I work a 9 to 5 and some of my salary money has been put into pension, but that money gets taxed at some point. So I'm supposed to have extra money for my old age so I don't end up working as a cleaner in a fast food restaurant. Okay. But what I realized was that because I wasn't budgeting and I was living off the edge, there was no room for savings. When my mom used to tell me, "Oh, you need to save," I'm like, "Mom, there's no room to save. I have to pay this. I have to buy this. I have to, I have to." Do you realize that in the midst of the, "Oh, I don't have enough to put on the savings account. I have to buy this. I have that." I had money to go on holiday. I had money to go on holiday. And the holiday was over £1,000. In the midst of the, "I don't have enough. I have to get this. I have to get that." I then realized that the only reason I felt like I didn't have enough was because I didn't prioritize my old age and how much money I'm going to have in my old age. I was so focused on pleasure right now than I was in my old age. And don't get me wrong, it's good to enjoy life right now and your old age, but there's got to be balance, there's got to be sacrifices. And so when I started budgeting, then I was able to adjust my budget in a way that I would put money in my ISA account, in my lifetime savings account. So that way something in me felt secure that, okay, at least I got something in my old age now, you know? So that's what budgeting can do. It lets you know what you can buy, what you can't buy, what you can spend or what you can't spend on, if something is important, if it's not important. And not only that, you're able to know where most of your money is going to. Okay, a lot of people don't know where most of their money, they think something invisible is taking the money away. You're just not budgeting. That's what it is. So the next one is to, this one, I feel like some people can get caught up in this, but the buy now, pay later method that was introduced after the whole disease that happened in the whole wide world, it is helpful to a certain degree, but sometimes you can get so carried away with the buy now, pay later that it could end up as a monthly direct debit each month. And it shouldn't be like that. I was once caught up with this buy now, pay later where every month I'll be paying back £200. And I thought, one day I was sitting to myself and I thought, why is it that I don't have much left over? And the Holy Spirit just told me that it's because of your conla, buy now, pay later. You're just doing too many buy now, pay later, buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later is a lot. And so every month, a lot of my money was going to buy now, pay later. So it helps in emergency situations. But when you do it back to back, often, then you get carried away and then you tend to forget that it's turning into a monthly direct debit and it shouldn't turn into a monthly direct debit. The next point would be credit cards. Credit cards. I do believe that as single moms, we should have a credit card for emergency situations because nobody knows when their child will get sick. Nobody knows when a child is going to have a cold, a toothache, or a tooth extraction, all these type of things. I have been in situations where I had zero balance in my account. My son had this gum thing going on in his tooth, and the public doctor was not available on the weekend. His tooth was aching. The only option was to go private, but I didn't even have enough to go private. If I had a credit card, it would have solved that problem a lot more quicker than for him to go through that pain for a whole week because I had zero balance. Okay, so I do think that a credit card is helpful. On the flip side of that, if you are going to get a credit card, my advice would be do not get a credit card that is equivalent to the amount you're getting every month. So let's say your salary is £800 every single month. Do not get a credit card that is £800. Get a credit card that is 150 max. I've made this mistake where in the past I was earning like 1,200 in my very first job per month, and I got a credit card that was equivalent to that, and I got carried away, and paying it back took so long because the amount I had borrowed in the credit card was equivalent to my salary. And by the time you take the bills out of my salary and everything, it wasn't enough to pay the credit card in full. And let's not talk about interest that's also been added to the credit card. So that's why I'm saying that if you want to get a credit card, oh, the lights got turned off there. If you want to get a credit card, do not get one that is equivalent to the amount that you're earning. Make sure it's like probably 10% of what you're earning. Okay. And always remember, don't try to like be bougie when you cannot afford to be bougie. Don't put yourself under that pressure. Don't be like, oh, I want to take my son private, but your salary cannot even afford private. The public is still okay. No one's gonna look down on you because you're going public. You should only go private when you feel like this is serious and you need like the best of the best to solve this out. You know, that's the only time. Like for me, I go private dentist because public dentist in England is just useless. You're in a queue for like 3 months. So are you telling me like if my teeth is hurting, I have to wait 3 months before I get like someone to pay attention to me? I would just go private. But I'm not going private to brag about it. It's only because I need to make sure that my tea is in good condition. Like your tea is important. So don't try to be bougie when you're not bougie. No matter how rich you are, you need to budget. You need to budget. You have to budget. Rich people budget. If you own a business or you're trying to run a business and you don't budget, what's going to happen? You're going to live off the edge. You might not have enough to even pay your employees. This is like the importance of budgeting. This is why I say that this video is the foundation of like living in abundance and financial freedom. Don't think that budgeting is for the broke people. It's for people who are on salary. No, it's for everyone. For a company to pay you every month, that means they have to budget. Because if they don't budget, they might pay one person more than the other. And then the next month, they might not have enough to pay anyone. And then it's going to put the company in a lot of problems. Okay, so that's really it for this video. This video is so important. It's so important as single moms that we are financially free. Every day, single moms are constantly struggling, and you lot like blaming the father of your child for your financial problems. Meanwhile, the solution is in your hands. The knowledge is out here, is everywhere at this point. So you really have no excuse. Financial freedom is your own responsibility. It's nobody's responsibility to make sure that you're financially free. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.